With fire season approaching, Nevada County residents are encouraged to mark their calendars for the Wildfire Ready Festival and Expo in Penn Valley. The event coincides with the start of Wildfire Awareness Month and will be held at Western Gateway Park on Saturday, May 2nd from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The family-friendly event will feature interactive and educational activities, including home hardening and dispensable space vendors, along with a live grazing goat demonstration. Visitors can also catch a firefighter muster showcasing traditional skills and competitions, and even meet Smokey Bear. The County Office of Emergency Services will be on hand with information about a new emergency notification system, along with multiple agencies offering resources, grant opportunities, and expert advice for homeowners. Insurance specialists will also be available to answer questions. Food trucks will be on site throughout the event. Organizers also recommend the documentary Standing Dead, which examines forest health and the growing risk of large wildfires in the Sierra foothills. A link to the documentary is in today's show notes. Joining us today is Paul Cummings, Program Manager for the Nevada County Office of Emergency Services. Paul brings more than 2 decades of high-stakes leadership experience to our community, having retired as a major from the U.S. Air Force. During his military career, he served as an Air Force air traffic controller and a U-2 mission planner at Beale Air Force Base. Since joining Nevada County OES in 2020, he has become a vital voice in local safety, overseeing wildfire mitigation, evacuation planning, and emergency preparedness. Welcome, Paul. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
This is a very important time of year for you.
It is.
I mean, it's an important job year-round, but this is an especially important, we're heading into fire season.
That's right. Yeah, this is the time of year that we, even though it's raining right now,
yes,
encourage.
Doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real, maybe, but remind the public that wildfire is an annual ongoing threat for us. And so as we start to move into fire season, this is the time to pull out your go bag, check in with your family on your plan, and start thinking about wildfire.
You know what I was thinking about? I saw the League of Women Voters did the candidate forum last night for the Nevada City Council, and a lot of the questions and discussion was around wildfire safety for Nevada City, of course, in particular.
That's interesting.
And and all kinds of things came up, like can you maintain the historic character of downtown and also use building materials that are true to the style and so on. So a lot of these kind of things that people are worried about with their homes, because I think what happens is get out your go bag and all of these things kind of become rote in a way. People don't really take them, I wouldn't say seriously, but it doesn't feel there's an urgency around it until
something happens.
Yeah.
So I think what you heard at that League of Women Voters meeting was how important it was to many of our community members to maintain what's important to our community, our lifestyle, while still preparing for the threat of wildfire.
And both are true.
And both can happen. And I think that's what we're asking people to do right now is let's not be scared, let's be prepared.
Right.
Let's take this time to do those things we talked about. Look at what you might do if there's a wildfire. Have a conversation with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your kids. This is a great time to sign up for emergency alerts.
There's a new one.
There's a new emergency alert platform in our community now. So we used to use Code Red.
Right.
A lot of people were familiar with that. We've switched to a different platform now, and we're branding this as Nevada County Alerts. So if you are new to the area and you haven't heard of Nevada County Alerts or Code Red, which was the old vendor. Now, if you sign up for these alerts and there's a wildfire or a major winter storm or even a law enforcement action, our office, the Office of Emergency Services, or the Sheriff's Office, or law enforcement in general, can send out a text message, a phone call, and an email notifying you of what's happening and giving you directions like evacuate, shelter in place, you're cleared to return home.
Got it.
It's a really important way to stay informed.
Yes. So if there is an emergency, you will get a text, a phone call, and an email, correct?
If you've signed up with those mediums.
Right. I did just the other day, actually.
Great.
Don't wait. You don't want people to wait to do it. You want them to do it now.
That's right. This is the time to do it. And so you go to readynevadacounty.org/emergency alerts, or you can call 211 and they'll help you sign up.
Okay.
And the great thing is now with our new vendor, you can sign up for up to 5 addresses because this system is location-based. So you can put your kids' school in there. You can put your parents' address, perhaps, maybe your work center, so that you're getting informed when these things happen at all the places that are important to you.
Yeah, because if you're at work and something's happening, and you're not necessarily getting the alert for your home address.
That's right.
You are getting the alert for your home address, but not for your work address. So that makes sense. So I think there's a test coming up as well, right, of that system?
That's right. And we're still onboarding that system and doing a lot of training with it. So I would ask folks to keep signing up, stay tuned to trusted news sources, like Nevada County Media, UBNet, the Union Online,
right.
KNCO, KVMR, social media, all great places to bring in information when something's happening. Look at all of those and, make decisions that are best for you. But with that information, you can then make a decision on what you might want to do during an event. But if there's information that's directed specifically for you, we'll send that with our Nevada County Alerts messages.
Right. That's really important. And then the other emergency alert systems that are in parallel with this involve the high-low sirens, correct? And what other?
That's right. Yep. So the high-low siren is a great backup, so that while it's important for everybody to sign up for these alerts, and we'll message you, of course, if something happens, and we'll message those by evacuation zone. That's another great thing to check into right now.
Right.
What
zone are you
in? We want folks to memorize that.
Yeah.
That's not something that you sign up for. We want you to know your zone.
Yes.
But we'll send those evacuation alerts by zone. But for some reason, if it didn't get through to you, or if the cell phone network was all clogged up, or if there was a power outage that impacted telecommunications, our last line of defense is law enforcement has these special sirens that sound like a European-style siren.
Yeah, they're very distinct.
They're very unique.
Yeah.
And if you hear that siren, it only means one thing: evacuate, and evacuate now.
Right. That my husband and I say that all the time. If you hear in our Firewise community, which is really active, if you hear the high-low, don't think.
Yeah, just
leave.
Go. And sometimes that's the only indication that some people have had, that we tried all the other ways of notifying them, but because of everything that was happening, all they heard was the high-low, and it saved their life.
Oh, gosh. So back to the zones. How does one find their zone?
A great place to do that is go to our readynevadacounty.org/dashboard. That's a great place to get information during an event so that you can see the zones, and they'll be toggled different colors if there's an evacuation happening. But you can also type in your address and see where you live and find out your evacuation
Really
zone.
important to know.
Yeah.
Stamp it on your hand, put it on your fridge if it's still magnetic.
That's right. Get a magnet.
Wherever.
That's right.
So you remember what your zone
phone.
is.
And you mentioned your Firewise community. That's a really great way to stay involved with your neighbors around the topic of wildfire and safety in general. This is another great time of year to go knock on their door, introduce yourself, see if they have a plan, maybe have shared conversations about how you might support each other during an evacuation, looking at things you could do to reduce the fuel load around your property. This is the time to do that defensible space work.
Yeah.
So that means clearing hazardous vegetation that, if there were a fire in your area, could burn next to your home and set your home on fire. So you can work together as a neighborhood to reduce the fuel load all around your neighborhood and make yourself safer. And then have those conversations about how to get ready and stay ready. And
there are resources for experts to come and help you figure out what to do as far as clearing zones and such on your property or in your neighborhood. Is that correct?
That's right. There are defensible space advisory visits that you can coordinate through your Firewise community. And then you can go to the county if there were a true hazard that you wanted to work through with you and your neighbor. If there was a complaint that you wanted to file around or if there was an area near your home that was hazardous, you can go to readynevadacounty.org and look up the defensible space page. And then we have defensible space inspectors that can come out and take a look at your home. Because you're only as safe as your neighbor's property, right? That's right. You can do all the work on yours, but if your next door neighbor is not paying attention or is an absentee, resident. Yes. You've got to try to stay on top of that as well. That's right. And readiness is a community mission. And so our defensible space inspectors and the defensible space advisors really try to work with folks to get them to work with each other to make each other safer, make our whole community safer. Yeah, our community, is very active, but we also have little potlucks now and then and get-togethers, just so we get to know each other. And it's always better when you know the person. That's right. As opposed to just a presence next door. So that's right. That's really important. So this is Wildfire Awareness Month, I believe, correct? That's right.
May is
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, and are there are special events happening? And
There are some events that are happening. Yeah, it sounds like you guys have already mentioned them, but I would suggest, again, tuning in to those trusted news sources. Follow OES online. We'll be talking about some of them. The Firewise communities are also going to be talking about those, and see what's happening in your neighborhood. And really, the purpose of bringing awareness to this in May is to get us ready for fire season and to get us talking and to bring us together around this problem set.
Right, really important. Well, thank you for your leadership, and please come back and give us some updates. We are happy to help the community with all the information we can give them.
Would love to. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.
See ya.